In the heart of the sprawling Blackwood Forest, a place shrouded in whispered legends and sinister tales, lived a girl named Sarah. She was a curious and adventurous soul, always seeking solace in the woods. However, it was her insatiable curiosity that led her to the most chilling and harrowing experience of her life. One ominous autumn afternoon, as the leaves began to turn shades of crimson and gold, Sarah decided to venture deep into the forest, further than she had ever gone before. The woods had an eerie aura, as if they held the secrets of countless generations within their gnarled branches and darkened undergrowth. Yet, Sarah felt compelled to explore, her curiosity beckoning her forward. She had been walking for hours, guided only by the pale light that filtered through the dense canopy above. The trees seemed to close in around her, their branches intertwining like skeletal fingers clutching at the sky. The forest floor was littered with fallen leaves and twisted roots, making each step treacherous. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with fiery hues of orange and red, Sarah realized she was hopelessly lost. Panic gnawed at her chest, and she fought to suppress it. She decided to retrace her steps and find her way back home, but the forest had other plans. The once familiar trail had vanished, and every direction she turned seemed to lead her deeper into the labyrinthine heart of the woods. Sarah's heart raced, her breaths grew shallow, and she felt a growing sense of dread. Night descended upon the forest, cloaking it in an impenetrable darkness. Sarah's only source of light was her small flashlight, which cast eerie shadows among the trees. She stumbled through the woods, her mind plagued by whispered voices that seemed to emanate from the very trees themselves. They spoke in hushed tones, carrying tales of despair, anguish, and sorrow. Hours turned into an eternity, and just as Sarah was on the brink of despair, she stumbled upon a clearing in the forest. Her flashlight revealed a chilling sight that sent shivers down her spine. Before her lay a small, decrepit village, its wooden structures crumbling with age. It was as if time had forgotten this place. Sarah cautiously entered the forsaken village, her footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. As she explored the abandoned buildings, she discovered something even more horrifying than the desolation itself. Inside each dwelling, she found journals and diaries filled with pages of despair, recounting stories of individuals tormented by their own inner demons. The most chilling revelation, however, was a series of crude wooden crosses scattered throughout the village, marking the graves of those who had met their tragic end in the depths of the Blackwood Forest. These people had come here seeking refuge from their troubles, only to find their darkest fears amplified by the malevolent presence that seemed to infest the woods. Sarah's heart sank as she realized the grim truth: this was a place where countless souls had chosen to end their own lives. The forest had absorbed their pain and suffering, becoming a twisted graveyard of broken spirits. With a trembling hand, Sarah continued her search for a way out, but the village seemed to stretch endlessly in every direction. She felt as though the forest itself was conspiring to keep her within its malevolent embrace. As the hours dragged on, Sarah's sanity began to fray. The voices in the woods grew louder, their despairing wails echoing in her ears. She couldn't tell if they were real or a product of her own unraveling mind. Desperation and terror clawed at her soul. Just when she thought all hope was lost, a distant glimmer of light caught her eye. She followed it through the dense underbrush, driven by a desperate need to escape. The light led her to the edge of the forest, where the trees finally gave way to a moonlit meadow. Sarah collapsed onto the dewy grass, her breath ragged and her body trembling. The forest behind her remained silent, as though it had finally released its grip on her. She had escaped the haunted depths of the Blackwood Forest, but the horrors she had witnessed would haunt her nightmares for the rest of her days. To this day, Sarah warns others never to venture too deep into the woods, for in the heart of the Blackwood Forest lies a sinister and malevolent force that preys upon the lost and the desperate, a force that turns the forest into a place where the most unimaginable horrors become all too real.